Could this inadvertently lead to you guys reshaping the NBA calendar? You've talked about a midseason break. We're inadvertently getting a midseason break. There have been owners who have asked to shift the schedule to start on Christmas Day. Could we see this epidemic shift the NBA calendar permanently?
Possibly. Those are things we're always talking about, whether they're executives at your company at ESPN or at Warner Media, together with our regional sports networks. I mean, I will say, what the conventional television calendar has changed so much certainly since I got into this business. Prime time means something very different than it used to now that people, in essence, carry televisions around with them in their pockets. The summer is viewed differently than it was historically from a television standpoint. So, regardless of whether we had been going through all this, it's something that the league office, together with our teams, has been spending a lot of time on. And we have a lot of our team owners who are technologists, media mavens by background. And so it's something that committees of owners and league officials have been working on a lot, especially over the past year or so.
All right, Adam, I've asked you a few questions about permutations if you guys do restart. I just want to finish with a question. If you do end up having to cancel the season, we would obviously just have a year without a champion. What would you do about other matters of record for the league, since history is so important to so many fans? Would James Harden just go down as having won the scoring title, even in a truncated season? Do you still hold votes for awards, MVP, Defensive Player of the Year? How does that work?
I'm not there yet.
Okay.
I mean, we'll figure it out, but I hope I'm not just in denial, but I'm just not there yet.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Adam, so much for his time and, frankly, his honesty. I thought it was a very human moment. Maybe
you were on him.
You
were giving him the
right?
questions. But you were giving him questions we all want to know.
Well, this is what we want to know, right? And look, this is we always say if the season ended today, guess what? Could be the playoffs began today. Here's the Western Conference playoff matchups. We'll also show the East in a second. But do you guys think we could just go straight into playoff games? How do players' bodies work here?
I think absolutely not. I think they need at least, whether it be 7 to 10, 5 to 10, they're going to need a little bit of time to shake the rust off. Although these are the most elite athletes in the world, basketball players, it takes time, especially for some of the older players, just to shake that rust off.
Yeah, I think you're going to need a 30-day period. But what you can do.
We don't have 30 days, Paul.
But I'm saying you can't just jump into a playoff basketball. You can't say, okay, we've been off 30, 45 days, however long it's going to be, and say, play at your highest potential right now. I mean, you want the best of the best playing their best. So you have to give them like a 30-day period. Maybe you shorten the playoffs. You go back to the first 2 rounds, 5 games.
5 games, right.
Maybe you shorten it at the end, but you got to give these players a chance to get their legs back. You got to understand, you're taking away their practice facilities. You're taking away their arenas. They won't be ready at the start.
No.
Right. I mean, look, I know that ideally you want your best players playing their best, all of that. This is never going to be an ideal scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's going to be a lot of
firsts.
They
get 6 to 8 games before the playoffs?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if it's going to be a full month.
There's going to be a lot of firsts now,
right.
Post-coronavirus, not only in the NBA, but particularly in the NBA, there's going to be a lot of firsts. So however we move from here, we're going to be in new uncharted territory. But I agree with Paul. I don't know if we have 30 days, but I definitely think there needs to be a warm-up period because, like I'm saying, these guys are going full speed when we stopped.
Yep.
Now, I say we because, we've been there, we've done that. So you're stopping them. Now, how consistently are they working out? How consistently are they running? Are they playing? They're not being able to do anything. So just to think we can throw them back out there and it's playoff time and it's time to go, it doesn't work like that.
All right, well, I did also ask Adam about potentially shifting the NBA calendar permanently, right? So earlier this month at the Sloan Analytics Conference, we had the Hawks CEO propose starting the season in mid-December, starting those big games first on Christmas Day. Do you guys think that might be a good idea, maybe for this season because everything's going to shift, but maybe overall?
Well, this is what I think. It'll shift for 1 year. And I remember in 2010, we started the season on Christmas because there was a lockout. So that year, because we have an extended season this year that may go to August, September, and say you start in December, just for 1 year, you'll have a short season. So since we going to start late next year, you can say, all right, this season next year, 2020, 2021, we're only going to have 50 games, guys. And then come back the next year, you go back to 82.
So you wouldn't want to start the whole season in December, maybe get off the competition with the NFL and shift the calendar?
I don't think so. I think it's tough. I mean, I think
that'll be tough.
we have a great situation where we always have the summer off.
Right.
The summer off, a lot of stuff happens in the summer. You let your body recover and everything. And like Paul said, if we happen to have to start in December, we're not going to be able to play a full calendar if we plan on getting back on some sort of old schedule. So if we're going to a complete new schedule where we're going to start in December and still have 82 games and end in August, it's going to completely shift the
All
off
of that.
season. You know what I mean? So that's something I'm sure they're working on, but it'll be different. Speaking as a former player, I wouldn't like that.
You wouldn't like that. Well, I promise you, there are people who've been advocating for a while for fewer than 82 games, right? They're going to be trying to
Now's
get
the
that in
time.
now
Now's
to
definitely
push
the
that
time.
in. You can experiment now in a way that maybe you couldn't just sort of randomly throughout a random season. Now we're going to be forced to.